What's up guys, welcome to Life of Bliss. I'm Kyle and today I will be going over how to assemble a crossover. If you saw the video from a while back, I unboxed some speakers from DIY Sound Group. They sell kits that come with all the necessary components to build your own speakers. You will have to put together your crossovers and build your cabinets, but the end result should sound comparable to a speaker that is much higher priced that you would find in retail stores. So today will be the first video in a series going over the assembly, finishing, and testing of the DIY Sound Group 1299 and Volt 10 series speakers. Be sure to subscribe so you can get notified when all the new videos come out over the next few weeks. So let's go ahead and start with the crossovers. This isn't going to be a super technical video as I really don't know much about the design aspect, but crossovers sit between your power source or your amplifier and the speakers themselves. This is called a passive crossover. The signal goes through a series of capacitors, resistors, and inductors to send specific frequency ranges to the different speakers. The kit from DIY Sound Group comes with all of the crossover components and diagrams to help with assembly. Depending on the kit you purchase, some either come with a PCB board or they can be ordered for a small additional charge. Having built crossovers in the past, these boards were definitely worth the money. They are super easy to follow and will save a ton of time with a pre-planned layout and easy soldering points on the back. The only tools you'll need are a hot glue gun, soldering iron and solder, wire cutters, and some zip ties. Over here are the components for the 1299 speaker, while these are for the Volt 10. Let's go ahead and start with the Volt 10 speaker first.
Everything was outlined on the crossover board, so placing the components was simply matching the outlines. If you happen to cut the lead shorter, be sure to scrape away any coating as needed so there is only bare metal showing. This will ensure a good connection once soldered. I decided to start with the larger inductors first. Everything was test fit, trimmed to length, then secured using a good amount of hot glue. This will ensure the components stay in place before soldering and adding zip ties if needed. When soldering, I used enough solder to completely surround the wire and completely fill the contact point on the board. This will give the best connection possible. I glued down the rest of the larger components, trimmed them to length, zip tied them down, and soldered them into place. Then I moved to the smaller pieces. These only need to be glued down since they are lighter and will be held securely without the need for zip ties. I also added the input and output terminals onto the board. Next, I flipped the board over and soldered all of the connections. This is a much faster method than gluing each component and soldering them one at a time. And here is the completed crossover for the Volt 10 speaker. Now for the 1299 crossovers. The process was the same as the Volt 10s, but I later decided to test fit and trim all the leads to length before gluing anything down. This further sped up the process and made it easier to get my wire cutters close to the board. There are roughly double the amount of components with these boards, and many of these pieces were similar in size, so the provided diagram was definitely needed. It was easy to follow and I was able to complete the board in about 30 minutes.
So here are all the crossovers after assembly for the 1299s and the Volt 10s. As I was saying earlier, these will take the input signal from the amplifier and then send the specific frequencies to the correct speakers. You can see the input terminal here at the top and the output for different speaker sizes below. The low frequency output will go to the woofers, the mid output to the 6-inch mids, and the high output to the tweeter. So for me, this is a really fun part of the speaker build process. I've learned a little bit more about crossovers each time I've done it. It may seem a little overwhelming at first with all the parts and pieces, but it's really easy to follow the diagram and to just solder them in place. So that is the first step in the speaker build process. The next step is building the cabinets. That video will be coming out soon, so please subscribe if you'd like to be notified when it's up. I hope this video was helpful. Please hit that thumbs up button if so. Thanks for watching Life of Bliss, and I will see you guys soon.